In this paper, we describe a pedagogical agent that functions in the role of a virtual genetic counselor that discusses hereditary breast cancer risk and motivates women to obtain breast cancer screening. We report the design and evaluation of two prototypes of the virtual counselor. Genetic risk estimates how genes affect individuals' likelihood of developing certain diseases, such as hereditary cancer syndromes. Existing medical guidelines recommend risk-reducing behaviors and preventive measures, such as cancer screening, lifestyle behavior change, medications, or preventive surgeries. Effective communication of genetic risk is increasingly important in helping at-risk individuals make appropriate health-related decisions and adhere to risk-reducing guidelines. However, many individuals do not have access to genetic counselors or lack the ability to understand and act on genetic risk due to the complexity of the information. To provide more easily accessible genetic counseling and to improve the communication of genetic risk for low health literacy and numeracy individuals, we propose a pedagogical agent that functions in the role of a virtual genetic counselor. Our approach integrates techniques from the intelligent tutoring systems, including dynamic adaptation to user comprehension maintained in a user model, with counseling techniques tailored for risk communication. This table shows 8 risk communication principles that we summarized from past literature about communication of risk to individuals with limited health literacy and health numeracy in order to improve comprehension, promote informed decision-making, and encourage health behavior change. We have incorporated these principles into the design of our virtual genetic counselor. Here's a screenshot of the implemented virtual counselor. The virtual counselor explains the topics that will be covered during the counseling session. Here, the virtual counselor explains the concept of risk and chance using a frequency diagram. We developed 2 prototypes and conducted 2 quasi-experimental studies to evaluate each. Both studies used a similar design. The first study evaluated the feasibility of receiving breast cancer genetic counseling from the proposed virtual counselor. Our results showed the implemented first prototype was well accepted by all participants, and it was effective in improving their breast cancer genetics knowledge. Based on our initial results, we extended our first prototype to assess the efficacy of intelligent tutoring system-inspired dynamic adaptation in risk education. Our second prototype adopts a standard ITS architecture and is able to provide tailored pedagogical content based on dynamic assessments of user comprehension and other user traits and preferences maintained in the user model. In both evaluation studies, interaction with a virtual counselor resulted in a significant increase in breast cancer genetics knowledge. Overall, participants were satisfied with the virtual counselor and the counseling experience. They liked the virtual counselor, trusted her, and find her very knowledgeable, and they intended to follow her recommendations. In particular, participants find the second prototype very accommodating to their preferences. Results from the second evaluation study demonstrated the efficacy of improving users' breast cancer genetics knowledge by dynamically adapting the virtual counselor's pedagogical strategies to the individual's comprehension and preferences. For future work, we plan to implement a third prototype, incorporating information processing theories into genetic counseling, in order to effectively motivate at-risk individuals to adhere to breast cancer prevention and detection guidelines. Thank you.